Hello and very warm welcome to Dr. Ahmed YouTube channel. Dear students and audience, this is a new video on Shahnawaz's novel, The Heart Divided. I have selected certain chapters and out of which the important passages have been selected in order to discuss the idea or the aspect or the topic that is socio-political paradigm in this novel. I call it socio-political because although the novel is 100% on the history of Indo-Pak Subcontinent struggle against the British government, but this struggle was bringing certain changes at the level of society as well. That is why it should be termed as socio-political paradigm. So let us enter into it and see how and on what aspects we can make a discussion. So to discuss the theme of socio-political divide, I have following points that should be taken care before we discuss the passages selected. One is liberal versus conservative. I mean, the people are divided into two parts, socially and politically. Some are loving liberality and independence, and some are conservative, want to stick to the old traditions, and as a result, there is disruption in the united struggle for freedom. The writer has put much emphasis on the romance, marriage, and women, and here is also the similar kind of divide available. Actually, this is the point which makes the division of politics into seep into the division of romance and the sections of women. So some women are highly qualified, educated, and resisting, and some are definitely not so. And this is happening because of the Anglicization of Indians, because many Indians are going to England for higher education. When they come back, they bring the the English culture with them and somehow influence the local culture. And as a result, Parda has become the hot debate among the Muslim young people. But Muslims are afraid also with reference to the English dominance, and after independence with reference to the Hindu dominance also, with regard to which we should discuss some of the passages here. For example, the very first passage is, it happens that one of the tires of the car punctured while Zohra Bibi was out shopping, so she went out shopping against with home. That Suraya who goes about like a Frangan meme, and some Hindu girls, well, it seems upon being told it would take 20 minutes, etc., etc. So this paragraph talks about Zohra when she goes out for shopping in her car, but the car unfortunately gets punctured on the way, and that is why she goes by a tonga, which was not allowed to her, especially at that time when she was not wearing her parda. This is reported to Anri Begum, the mother of Zohra, and she was of the view that young girls were becoming very bad girls, and that is why they have no shame at all, no connection with the family honor, and that's why she is ready to punish her for this purpose. So this goes to prove that women were divided into two parts. One definitely was the part which was of the conservative women who wanted to uphold the traditions of the past like parda, and young women were resisting to that. Similarly, in the next coming passage, we have the sister of Zohra, that is Sugra, for example, and she is the one who would be talked about not with reference to the struggle, not with reference to the political activity, but with reference to the beauty, the charm which she had earned, and also because of the kind of body structure she had enhanced, and therefore she looked just like a Punjabi girl and beautiful one, though she was not as beautiful as the writer says she could be. For example, the lines in the middle indicate while the some curves of Sugra's body showed to great advantage, she was a Punjabi girl like. And then many other details have been given that when she laughed, she looked beautiful. So in this way, one can see that beauty and romance is also discussed, but it serves to be a direct contrast to Zohra's point of view, how Zohra has been talked about. Her physical beauty is not discussed. Her aims and struggles, her education, her desires and ambitions are talked about. But Sugra, in case of Sugra, everything which is womanly, that is being talked about. Perhaps this is the change in the writer's point of view. What is important, why, and how the women were divided on their points of views in India. And similarly, if we proceed a little bit further, we will be able to find some of the, Indian society's background and roots of union. For example, in this passage, we can see that one Hindu who is called as in the paragraph Jawala Prashad Kaul, and one Muslim who is Nizamuddin. All these people possibly got together. They had changed their turbans together. They were having a brotherly relationship with each other, and possibly at that time when they were living in India, they had interest common, living at one place, and so that's why Nishat Manzar and the Kaul House became the kind of get-together place where these people sat and shared the cultural traditions and brotherhood as well. Although at that time the division of Hindu and Muslim was very less dominant and very less sharp, so that is why the traditional brotherhood existed and family ties were there. So the writer actually wants to give us the kind of background which existed at that time, and because of the new political paradigm, the division was created that Hindus became, one may say, enemies of Muslims, and Muslim became the enemies of Hindus during the struggle. Though the both of these people had the similar common purpose to get rid of the Hindus. So, to get rid of the dominance of the British people and then later on the dominance of the Hindu people. And as a result, we have examples in the novel of the Hindu participation, Hindu girls' participation, and this must be related to the common struggle, common style of young, educated college students like Mohni, like Zohra. Mohni was also one of the very good activists who were struggling against the dominance of the British people, who were struggling for the independence of India. And she was the one who were very hyperactive, as the paragraph goes to suggest, that she was arrested because of her activity, because she spoke against the people. She talked about this SALT movement. She talked about the civil disobedience movement. She stood by the leaders, and as a result, she was talking about everything like that. She loved her country, she loved her leaders, and she wanted that the Muslims should be with us. So, like Zohra, Mohni was also an advocate of Hindu-Muslim unity as far as the struggle for independence was concerned. Bapsi Sidhwa, in her novel Ice Candy Man, has also talked about such things. But then, definitely, the divide is to occur, and that is why this political paradigm has caused the socio-political paradigm as well. In the next paragraph, we can see that unity is 100% disrupted because the people would not like to, Muslim people would not like to count themselves among the SALT movement people or civil disobedience movement for some time, and that they expressed as well because the reason they said that Congress was working against the benefit of the Muslims, and that is why it is the responsibility of the political parties of that time, it was the responsibility of the leaders of that time who created this divide, and as a result, Muslims were also regretting and Hindus were also regretting, but the parties were bent upon dividing the people. Perhaps they thought that their power depends on that, and as a result, the two-nation theory got produced because of all these factors, and as a result, Muslims were now waging a separate struggle. This section of our video goes to talk about Zohra, who is definitely a very independent of spirit and is holding her own opinion, and that is actually the representative of the young women who are getting college education and are getting influenced by the independence of women as well. So that is why she makes a speech, and she is very much good debater as well. She has earned the confidence of the people, and all these things combined together in order to put up a tough resistance against the social norms as well as against the political norms around her. And she therefore earns the anger of her family, but still she continues to struggle against all that, and as a result, she becomes a representative model for all those women who want to be progressive. And similarly, we can see that the disruption was occurring because of the agenda of the Congress, and Muslim people were awakening for their future. They were worried and upset, and because of the many activities which the Hindus were, which the Congress was basically portraying. Congress boycotted the British people also, and the unity which was, according to the writer, forced in the battle has been breaking. Simon Commission was not accepted by the Muslims, by the Indian people possibly had the boycott kind of thing, and everybody was working behind that. Nehru report was not accepted by the Muslims, and Muslims' point of view of the 14 points of Jinnah were not accepted by the Hindus, so the clear divide was visible. So this divide was influencing the social divide also, this divide was influencing the political divide also, and ultimately the people of India was 100% divided. But in a way, the path for the creation of Pakistan was created. Okay, and in the next part, we see Habib, who is coming from England after getting his education completed of law, like his father. He has been staying there. He has come back after a long time, and he is here in his family. The writer describes total journey of train, how does it travel, and where does he stop, and ultimately received and brought home. Everybody is very much happy with him, and possibly The marriage thing will also be talked about. His father, his grandfather, every people want him to marry F3, but possibly he's unwilling. Though he's a very gentle brother, he loves his sisters and supports them all the time. So in this way, Habib goes to represent not only a rebel of the society, but also a pro-feminist young man who would always respect the opinion of his sisters and would support them as well. So this is another type of awakening, social awakening, which was taking place because of the politics around. So students, in the end of the video, we can conclude that the novel represents the socio-political paradigm of at that time in the 1940s India, when struggle for Pakistan was going on. The highlights of this point are that first of all, the Indian people were united, but later on, because of the Congress unacceptability of the Muslims' power and independence, disruption had started to come, and Muslims became therefore worried about their future. They sidelined with the Congress and demanded their own country. This was because they thought that the master would be only replaced, no clear-cut independence or freedom would come to the Muslims. So Muslim young men and women became even more enthusiastic, and this divide was quite visible in the marriage romance as well. For example, Habib wanted to marry Mohini, which was now not possible because of this divide, because he was unable to marry her because of the new laws. Because first of all, she was Hindu, and new law was that he cannot marry a Hindu girl, and this way the political divide was reflective among the social divide as well, because the conservatism and liberalism was dividing the people into two parts. But one must know that everything was happening in the elite Muslim groups, and they were leading the Pakistan movement. So in a way, the Pakistan movement was for the progressive and civilized Pakistan, for the independence of the people. Later on, what happened, what was its fate, nobody knows. So here we stop for this day. Hope that you have liked it. So subscribe and like button as well be pushed by you people. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video.